Hello, I'm GalicEnder, and this video is more serious than my usual one, so this is probably not going to be like a bunch of funny editing and whatnot. This is a video basically going over my thoughts and opinions about the two videos that I've recently seen, one from ESAM, a professional Smash Bros. Ultimate player, and one from Zero, a professional Smash player that is now retired in the days of Smash 4 and was seen as the best of the world at the time. And their videos mostly talk about problems within the community and how it's toxic, how it's affected pros, how it's affected them, how their experiences have been affected by the community, and what they've done to get to where they are, basically in the world of Smash. And I'm not going to be going over a lot of the points in these videos that talk about from a professional's perspective, because I'm not a pro Smash player. I couldn't know the hardships of getting to that level, which there are, I'm certain of. It's just like, what would a pro do in a professional scene? I'm probably not going to cover much on that. It's mostly just referring to what they say about the community and what the community has done to affect them and how they view it. That's what I mostly want to talk about. The topics that I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be sharing my opinions based off of my observations in gaming online with esport level games like Overwatch, Smash Ultimate, League of Legends. Yeah, you know, all those games like that stuff. So I'm sure everyone else has had a different experience and everyone has different opinions. These are just things I'm going to be talking about just based off of what I've been through. Now, I'm not trying to discredit, I'm not trying to make them look bad, I'm not trying to do anything. I love these two creators and I love these two, like, they're just great. They're role models to me, and I wouldn't want to do anything to taint their image. And a lot of these things I actually agree with them on. There's some that I don't fully agree with, but I see where they're coming from, and we'll get into that. So let's just get into the first topic.
ESAM is one of the most talented players. He is just good at Smash. It's like, no, I grinded Smash until I was good at Smash. And obviously, I can only really talk about myself because I don't know how often everyone trains, because a lot of, like, hopefully I would assume that people are training off stream, especially in, like, Ultimate. And Leffen brought up a really good point. People in Ultimate, compared to especially Melee and Brawl players, don't practice. You have examples of people that you think are just talented at Smash, and it's because they've just had hours and hours and hours and hours of reps that you haven't seen, or that are taken for granted, like Mewtwo King. Mewtwo King is one of the most perennially talented and well-spoken and well-decorated players in all of Smash, but he sucked. Mewtwo King was not good at Smash for years. And then he suddenly put in way more hours than everyone else, especially at the beginning of the game. He put in way more hours than everyone else and became God. I put in hours of work. Like, y'all will see me do, like, up air bridges, right? Like, on stream, and be just like, oh my god, like, that's so broken. You didn't even practice it. ESAM, how do you get that? I can't do it in 3-4 hours. And I'm like, neither could I. I have done so much offline grinding for up air bridges, labbing it and practicing it. It literally, when I was like, I'm gonna make this video, I kind of knew how to do it sometimes, and then I really learned how to do it. And me making the list on everyone ended up being 6 to 10 hours of me grinding the same combo, because I had to do it on everyone, and I had to check if it worked on everyone. Like,
now, obviously, I'm editing down ESAM's video to kind of shorten it for the length of the video, so you're not sitting here watching like a 3-hour long video. So after this, you should definitely go check out both of the videos I'm going to mainly talk about today, so you can get the full context of what they're trying to say. But basically, ESAM goes into how no one is inherently good right off the bat when playing Smash Ultimate, or any Smash game in general. He mostly talks about Melee and Ultimate, but his main point is there's no way that anyone just comes in swinging like they're a god when playing this game. And that's the truth. We all sucked at one point. Some people learn things faster than others. Some people just pick up on things faster. That's true, and ESAM goes over that in this video. It's just a lot of these professional players, from what I've seen, they grew up playing Smash. Like, they had a game, they played it with a bunch of other people, or they grinded it for hours and hours and hours on one player to where they learned how to play the game and how to find all this stuff. They had very limited resources. There wasn't just online guides to teach you how to play these characters or explain frame data or websites that showed you hitboxes and how they work and which hitbox is a spike hitbox, how many frames is it out for, yada yada yada, all that stuff. They had to figure that out basically just by grinding the game and figuring it out for themselves in just various situations. The thing is, a lot of these people, a lot of people have different upbringings when it comes to Smash. This is the very first Smash game that I've actually became passionate about or taken seriously, and I've played every single one of them. I've played 64, Melee, Brawl, 4, and Ultimate, and I've owned them all at one point, except for 64 and Melee. I always went over to my friends' houses and played that, but I owned Brawl, I owned 4, and you damn well know I own Ultimate. I didn't get into Smash until more or less when Smash Ultimate came out, and about a couple months after that. And I only got into it because my friends Nick and Austin got really into it, and Nick was already in it. Nick's been in it since Melee. He's insane at the game. I believe he could actually be a professional player if he believed in himself a bit more. But that's beside the point. The point is a lot of these professional players grew up playing the game and they just grinded hours and hours and hours into it, and that's fine. Everyone has a different upbringing. They had that time. It's just not everyone does, and especially me now, nearing the end of my college career and starting a whole bunch, and even starting my career out in the workforce, getting into a lot of different things. I don't have the time to just grind out hours and hours of Smash, but I still do it. It's just over a longer period of time. When I'm just chilling on Discord and we're not really doing anything, I just use my monitor here that I have hooked up to my Switch for sharing. I just practice Joker combos, or I practice Terry combos, just basically whatever character I'm feeling interested in, I'm trying it out. And there's nothing wrong with how these professional players handled their upbringing. I'm not saying that they're wrong for doing that, or it's oh, you had the advantage, you can't do that. No, that's great. That's great. And they benefited for it. They put in the work. They just got into it a lot faster than I did. There's nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't give up, basically, is what they're trying to say. You should learn from it. You should... It's if you really want to get into Smash, then you need to get into Smash. You gotta make the time for it. And that's just the hard part about it. It's just a lot of people got into Smash and put in the time for it when they were kids, and they could put in the time for it. But if you get into it as an adult, it might be a bit tougher, especially if you don't have, if you just don't have as much time at home as everyone else does. That doesn't mean you should stop. It just means you just got to find your own way about it. And that's just something that ESAM fails to mention. He basically just goes into the points you got to put in the hours. You just got to do it. And he's right, but I just feel he's talking more off his own experience rather than other people's. And I'm sure he mentions that, and I'm sure that he knows that. And he's mostly just talking about it for the sake of Best Ness's comment on Twitter or something, or some bullshit like that. But just from when I watched the video, he didn't really go much into it, and I just want to make that point for him, as in, you got to put in the hours. You just got to find a way to do it in your own time. And just because you lost to somebody who plays more than you, you shouldn't be demotivated to put in the time and go and practice. If it's something you really want to do, then you will find a way to make the time to do it. So that's basically all I have to say in putting in the hours.
All that people do in the Ultimate community is make people feel bad about themselves as a player. That's all the Ultimate community does in this game. Because this shit happens, oh, you're not actually blah, and then people want to dunk on characters they don't like. So a Luigi player, he's a fucking kid, for all we know. He can be 14, 13, and he's getting, I don't know how old the kid is, and he showed off a highlight of him being happy that he did Luigi combos, and then every player with 4,000 plus followers until 15k followers just dunked on him for no reason. He's oh, well, I can do this blindfold, and it's okay, let this kid be happy. Y'all sucked at some point. Everyone sucked at some point, except for Leo. It's shut up. It's not the point. I'm so tired of this community for just deciding that, oh, I am this and I am so good and I am blah, but everyone else sucks. Everyone else that's trying to be me, fuck you guys. You guys are ass. You guys don't do anything. You're not talented. You don't understand the game. You blah, 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 blah. And so many people do that. And it bothers the hell out of me. But when you go on Twitter and you do the same thing, it doesn't work that way. You can't just do that and expect it to be translated one-to-one. You're obviously joking. You're joking around with friends. Because I don't know that kid. I don't know who that Luigi player is. So if I, as someone, of course, I don't really do this generally. If I, someone with 140,000 followers on Twitter, makes fun of this kid, even if I'm joking, there are going to be thousands of people that see that tweet that don't understand that I'm joking, and then are gonna dunk on that kid.
If you really think about it, the Smash Bros. Community actually has a tremendous problem with discrimination. The difference is, though, that unlike things like racism, people are completely okay with it on a social level. It is okay to hate on you because you play Sonic. It is okay to hate you because you play Jigglypuff. It is okay to find you a bad person because you play these characters in a certain manner. In one way or another, the community has found itself to be one of the most unwelcoming communities over time.
To give Zero's video a bit of context, it's talking about how Hungrybox became like one of the most hated players in the Melee community and just in the Smash community, and you should definitely go watch it to view the whole context of that clip I just showed you. But the part where he said that Smash is one of the most unwelcoming communities out there, and even with ESAM saying it's like everyone in this community just wants to make people feel bad, and I'm tired of it. And though I'm sure these are exaggerations, and they could, Nami's like, oh, well, everybody in the Ultimate community is a piece of shit. It's just, I'm sure in the heat of that moment they were just saying nonsense, but here's the thing. Every single online game you play, there's going to be toxicity. There's going to be people that make you feel bad. There's going to be people that will say mean things and racial slurs and all sorts of bullshit. Every single game that I've played that is involved with esports or has some kind of competitive edge in it, I have received toxic comments, I've received toxic messages, I even got like fucking Steam messages over Doom Eternal saying how I was being a piece of shit and using a gun that was unfair or some bullshit like that. I've gotten messages on Overwatch saying how my character's bad or how I'm bad and I'm never gonna make it to Diamond because I'm just a horrible player. Or I've had like a group of people I used to play with stop playing Overwatch with me because my rank was too low. And I've had messages on Halo that says like, quit camping, you fucking bitch, get out here and fight, I'm gonna go fuck your mom or some shit like that. Like, just toxic. And no matter where you go, you're gonna hit it. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, you just man up and do it, it's gonna be out there regardless. No, it's just a cruel part of reality that is gaming. If there's competitiveness in a game, there's going to be toxic people, and there's no way you can get around it. And everybody who I've talked to that's very involved in this community has all said the same thing. This is the most toxic game out there. Don't play it. Or this is the most toxic game out there, and I don't see why people keep coming back into it. They all make the same claim. And I don't think it's that there's one specific game that's the most toxic out there. I think it's just the competitive gaming scene in general is just insanely toxic. And we all need to just take a moment and realize that and better ourselves individually rather than a group. You should put the message out there that, hey, this community is toxic and we need to do something. That's a great way to get started, but it all comes down to that one person who watches that message and actually does something about it. And that's the hardest part of delivering a message that something is toxic. It just sucks. It's just awful. And I wish that wasn't a part of the gaming community, but it is. And it's not even just the gaming community that's toxic. There's just people out there that just want to be mean for no reason. And it's just human nature. There's gonna be mean people. And it sucks. No matter what you get into, there's gonna be toxicity. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe just Bob Ross painting isn't that toxic, I presume. But I'm sure there's some woman out there that's like talk shit, or some guy who's just saying like, the painting looks like shit. People are toxic. And I'm guilty of it too. I've said toxic things. Even on my last stream, I was making fun of a Mario player for mashing because I was on one side of the stage. He was not far from me. He did 3 forward smashes in a row, did 2 spot dodge down smashes, and then did an up smash. And I just sat there. It's like, dude, this guy's fucking mashing. Or I got up on ledge and died to a K roll down smash, and my get up attack was missed, and I just died. And I was just like, fucking K roll players. I'm guilty of these toxic comments too, and I need to more or less just calm down. And it's like, well, fuck, I lost. Or there was a Bowser player who I beat in a 3-0 set, and I was just better than him. Like, I beat him all 3 times, and he did a lot of things that are stereotypes to Bowser. He tried to use side B a lot. He F smashed a lot. He did a whole bunch of stuff that can be seen as a stereotype. And I said, and as soon as that set ended, I removed him from the lobby, and I was like, that Bowser is mad corny, and it was just fun. It was toxic. And to those players, I apologize. And seeing these videos really opened my eyes to that. And I believe to other people who are toxic or don't know if they're toxic yet, just maybe take a step back. Remember that one point where you said that rude comment, whether or not if it was a joke or not. Let's just calm down. All right, just calm down a bit. We lost. It's a video game. If you got angry at a loss, that's completely fine. Competitive players who lose matches in a competitive scene, they get angry there, but they don't get angry at that other person. It's mostly that they get angry at themselves because they got that far and they lost to something that they should have seen, or they lost to something that was unpredicted, or they lost to something because they didn't make the right reaction in time. And it's just, that's infuriating. Even now, I go through that something similar when I'm playing with my friends. My friend Austin took a break from Smash for like a month and a half, and I grinded it out a lot. And when he came back in, we were going practically, I was in favor. I was winning most matches. And I was like, yes, I finally got better. I did it. And after about a week and a half of him getting back into it, he's back to just kicking my ass almost every single game. And now he's even 3-stocking me again. And I got so angry because I kept getting hit by the same things. My habits, he figured them out just like that again, even though they changed. And it's infuriating. And I understand getting angry at the game, but you should never, ever use that anger to hurt someone or to make them feel bad for playing the game, no matter what character or how they're playing it. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that.
Ultimate community complains about people that camp, or Zelda mains, or Sonic mains, or Luigi mains, or Roy mains, or Chrom mains, or Pikachu mains, or Joker mains. Actually, no one really complains about Joker.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Or Snake mains, or Toon Link mains, or Young Link mains, or Pac-Man mains, or Game & Watch mains, or, like, you get my point. Those are all, like, pretty relevant. Or Luigi mains, or anything. And everyone just wants to be angry. You play any character and you get flamed, because Ganon is no skill, because all you had to do was read me 3 times and you were just kind of mashing forward smash. And if you're a mid-tier player, then you're abusing your gimmicks, which is, by the way, a really stupid phrase, because abusing gimmicks is not actually what they're doing. They're just using their character. God forbid a fucking Piranha Plant. Exactly. So if you play Plant, it is not a gimmick to spam Tui and side B. Those are just really good moves. So of course you're going to use the good tools that your character has. Are you gonna call Marth dash backing into the corner in Melee to grab a fox and then down throw him a gimmick? No, it's just good. Why would you not do something that's good?
One thing that's very puzzling about the Smash Bros. Community is that it is by far the community that's the most concerned about this entire concept of the sickness tier list. For spectators, competitors, and even fans alike, it isn't nearly as important how good your character is, so long the character is actually interesting to watch. It is to the point that people more often than not demonize players that use characters that are perceived to be the opposite of sick. It is a very purist point of view that is actually very present in Smash, but I haven't really seen it in other type of fighting games nearly as much.
So these bits mostly just go on characters in both a non-professional scene and also a professional scene, whether or not how characters are annoying and use their gimmicks or their really good moves, and how people see these characters acting in a professional scene. The first thing I want to talk about is just in general, like, I'm playing Smash Online. Yes, I get super irritated at specific character moves. I'm pretty sure everyone has at one point. Even these creators have made jokes about these character moves. Like, I've seen Zero make jokes like, oh, we removed the nest from the Elite Smash today, and we've done a mission. That's a joke. I'm sure he meant nothing by it to nest players. But the thing is, like, it's kind of a double-edged sword, this topic, because on one end, it's like, oh my god, I hate getting hit by PK Fire for like the 18th fucking time in one match. And then the other thing is like, well, you should really learn from that match and try to predict an outcome where Ness is going to try and set himself up to use a PK Fire. So you should really be using that match to learn from that, and maybe the next Ness you fight, you can predict when he's going to go and use like a PK Fire. Now, obviously, Ness is not the only one that has an annoying move. ESAM went into like Piranha Plant using Patui and the Poison Spit move at ledge. I mean, that's just a good ledge guarding option. And I agree with ESAM. If a character has a really good move, why not use it? There have been many times where I have fought my friends online, and when they get to edge and I have Arsene out, I spam Aegon like my life depends on it, because I want that damage and I want to be able to secure that kill next time I have the opportunity. So we shouldn't really be faulting each other for using these good moves, but we also shouldn't be taking these moves and just saying, oh, he's just using a gimmick. He's not that good. He's just using a gimmick that his character has. So it's just really fucking annoying. And it's another thing coming down to individuality. It's like, I want to get better, but I keep getting hit by this move. And basically, Smash is like baptism by fire. You're going to get hit by that move. And until you learn how to get around it, you're going to continue to get hit by that move. There's just no other way around it. Like, last time I fought Austin, he played Lucina, and every time I tried to approach him, he'd use F-tilt. He'd just use F-tilt. He'd use F-tilt with me as Cloud. He'd use F-tilt as me as Lucina. He'd use it as Wolf. If that character had a good F-tilt, you better believe all my approaches were going to get stopped by that. So I had to change my way around it. I started playing a little bit more distant. I started playing a bit more of a punish game. And even though I still lost, I held up a lot better because I was able to get around not being able to get my approaches stopped. I even found new ways to approach him to get into it. So it comes down to stop being so irritating. Yes, it's irritating. It's super irritating getting hit by these moves that you just keep getting hit by and you feel like there's no way you can get around it. But you also need to take into account that you have to just find a way to get around it and get better as a player because of it. It sucks to hear that, but it's just, you just got to get better at it. And now usually when I fight Nesses online, I can get around most PK fires. Obviously I'm going to get hit by a few. I mean, it's just going to happen. Or trying to get around a Banjo Wonder Wing, or a Bowser Side B, or Charizard Flare Blitz, which is super exploitable out of the way. All you gotta do is shield it, and then boom, free F smash. But that aside, it's just a matter of individuality. You just gotta take the punches, and you gotta try and get better because of it. Now, on to seeing these characters in a professional scene. I guess it's just like people are taking their experiences and using that anger that they had from characters that they fought online that they couldn't get across and just relating it to that bit. Like when Hungry Box camps out ledge as Jigglypuff, they remember back to when they played online and they got camped out by some other character who's really good at it, and it was like, well, hey, he's just doing that and I can't get around that, so if I can't get around that, how's he gonna get around that? And from a competitive standpoint, from what I think and from what I've heard from other things, you are there to win, and you are there to get as far as you can. And sometimes it involves camping at ledge, or it involves abusing a certain move that you can get some free damage on. It's just there. You want to win. That's why you're there. That's why it's a competition. You're there to win. You're not mainly there to entertain. It just so happens to be entertaining to an audience. Like, one example that relates to me is, like, I got mad at, like, Meister for using Game & Watch. He got a Game & Watch down smash, and he got a kill off of it. I was like, fuck, I hate that move. Why is that move so good? It's because it's good. That's why he wants to use it. So I guess it's really, you got to take the perspective of the viewer wanting to be entertained, and I understand you want to be entertained. That's why you're watching it. But us as the viewer needs to see, or at least put ourselves in the shoes of a competitive player and think of a reason on why they're doing this move or why they're doing that character. They're there to win. And if that move helps them win, then why not use it? Even professional players that use these gimmicky moves still lose. And it's just, that's competition. That's the game. It's in the game. They're going to use it. They shouldn't be faulted for using it. Personally, I don't think you should be a competitor to be an entertainer. You should be a competitor to compete, especially in competition. And if you want to entertain on the side, great. But if you want to be a full entertainer, then you probably shouldn't compete. Or if you want to be a full competitor, you probably shouldn't entertain unless it's in the form of, I want to stream my Twitch sessions and build a fan base. I mean, and bottom line is just marketing. So, yeah. We need to get over ourselves, and we need to stop just faulting people for using a move. So in conclusion, the Ultimate community has its problems, just like every other fighting game or competitive game has their problems. There's toxicity, there's player stereotypes, there's character stereotypes, there's people who say mean things and can gather a cult following just to put down a professional player, which is awful. It's an awful thing, and we should try and be better than that. But also, we should try and have an understanding in everyone's position. Pro players should think about a viewer's position, and viewers should especially think about a pro player's position. And I believe we become better when we learn to understand in a more broad sense, or just less judgment on how people choose to play a certain way or play a certain character. We all have a right to play the game that we all paid for a certain way. And we should use that to either learn or to just build a better understanding. Now, I heavily encourage you to watch the full videos of the creators' videos that I clipped. I will link them both in the description below. And I hope you start a conversation with me either on Discord or in the comments. And if I was wrong about anything, I ask that you educate and not humiliate me. Because in the end, we should all try and learn and become better rather than just putting someone down because they do something in a way that you do not prefer. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.